Hello everyone. Welcome to the YouTube channel The Random Videos. Today, on the occasion of the birth anniversary of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, we have created this video to provide maximum information about him. Dr. Bhimrao Ramji Ambedkar was an Indian jurist, economist and Dalit leader who headed the committee drafting the Constitution of India from the Constituent Assembly debates, served as Law and Justice Minister in the first cabinet of Jawaharlal Nehru, and inspired the Dalit Buddhist movement after renouncing Hinduism. Ambedkar was born on the 14th of April 1891 in the town and military cantonment of Maho, now officially known as Dr. Ambedkar Nagar, now in Madhya Pradesh. He was the 14th and last child of Ramji Maloji Sakpal, an army officer who held the rank of Subedar, and Bhima Bai Sakpal, daughter of Laxman Murbadkar. His family was of Marathi background from the town of Ambadawe, Mandangarh Taluka, in Ratnagiri district of modern-day Maharashtra. Ambedkar was born into a Dalit caste, who were treated as untouchables and subjected to socio-economic discrimination. Ambedkar's ancestors had long worked for the army of the British East India Company, and his father served in the British Indian Army at the Maho cantonment. Although they attended school, Ambedkar and other untouchable children were segregated and given little attention or help by teachers. They were not allowed to sit inside the class. When they needed to drink water, someone from a higher caste had to pour that water from a height, as they were not allowed to touch either the water or the vessel that contained it. This task was usually performed for the young Ambedkar by the school peon, and if the peon was not available, then he had to go without water. He described the situation later in his writings as no peon, no water. He was required to sit on a gunny sack which he had to take home with him. His father, Ramji Sakpal, retired in 1894 and the family moved to Satara 2 years later. Shortly after their move, Ambedkar's mother died. The children were cared for by their paternal aunt and lived in difficult circumstances. 3 sons, Balaram, Anand Rao and Bhim Rao, and 2 daughters, Manjula and Tulasa, of the Ambedkars survived them. Of his brothers and sisters, only Ambedkar passed his examinations and went to high school. His original surname was Sakpal, but his father registered his name as Ambadavekar in school, meaning he comes from his native village, Ambadave, in Ratnagiri district. His Marathi Brahmin teacher, Krishanji Keshav Ambedkar, changed his surname from Ambadavekar to his own surname, Ambedkar, in school records. In 1907, he passed his matriculation examination, and in the following year he entered Elphinstone College, which was affiliated to the University of Bombay, becoming, according to him, the first from his Maha-caste to do so. When he passed his English 4th standard examinations, the people of his community wanted to celebrate because they considered that he had reached great heights, which he says was hardly an occasion compared to the state of education in other communities. A public ceremony was evoked to celebrate his success by the community, and it was at this occasion that he was presented with a biography of the Buddha by Dada Keluskar, the author and a family friend. By 1912, he obtained his degree in economics and political science from Bombay University, and prepared to take up employment with the Baroda state government. His wife, Ramabai, to whom he got married in 1906, had just moved his young family and started work when he had to quickly return to Mumbai to see his ailing father, who died on the 2nd of February 1913. In 1913, at the age of 22, Ambedkar was awarded a Baroda State Monthly Scholarship for 3 years under a scheme established by Sayajirao Gayakwad III, i.e. the Gayakwad of Baroda, that was designed to provide opportunities for postgraduate education at Columbia University in New York City. Soon after arriving there, he settled in rooms at Livingston Hall with Naval Bhatina, a Parsi who was to be a lifelong friend. He passed his MA exam in June 1915, majoring in economics and other subjects of sociology, history, philosophy and anthropology. He presented a thesis, Ancient Indian Commerce. Ambedkar was influenced by John Dewey and his work on democracy. In 1916, he completed his second master's thesis, National Dividend of India, a historic and analytical study. For a second MA on the 9th of May, he presented the paper castes in India, their mechanism, genesis and development before a seminar conducted by the anthropologist Alexander Goldenweiser. Ambedkar received his PhD degree in economics at Columbia in 1927. In October 1916, he enrolled for the bar course at Gray's Inn, and at the same time enrolled at the London School of Economics, where he started working on a doctoral thesis. In June 1917, he returned to India because his scholarship from Baroda ended. His book collection was dispatched on a different ship from the one he was on, and that ship was torpedoed and sunk by a German submarine. He got permission to return to London to submit his thesis within 4 years. He returned at the first opportunity and completed a master's degree in 1921. His thesis was on the problem of the rupee, its origin and its solution. In 1923, he completed a DSc in economics, which was awarded from University of London, and the same year he was called to the bar by Gray's Inn. Indian Constitution guarantees and protections for a wide range of civil liberties for individual citizens, including freedom of religion, the abolition of untouchability, and the outlawing of all forms of discrimination. Ambedkar argued for extensive economic and social rights for women, and won the Assembly's support for introducing a system of reservations of jobs in the civil services, schools and colleges for members of scheduled castes and scheduled tribes and other backward class, a system akin to affirmative action. India's lawmakers hoped to eradicate the socio-economic inequalities and lack of opportunities for India's depressed classes through these measures. The Constitution was adopted on the 26th of November 1949 by the Constituent Assembly. Ambedkar's first wife Ramabai died in 1935 after a long illness. After completing the draft of India's constitution in the late 1940s, he suffered from lack of sleep, had neuropathic pain in his legs, and was taking insulin and homeopathic medicines. He went to Bombay for treatment, and there met Sharada Kabir, whom he married on the 15th of April 1948, at his home in New Delhi. Doctors recommended a companion who was a good cook and had medical knowledge to care for him. She adopted the name Savita Ambedkar and cared for him the rest of his life. Savita Ambedkar, who was called also Mai. In 1956, he converted to Buddhism, initiating mass conversions of Dalits. Since 1948, Ambedkar suffered from diabetes. He was bedridden from June to October in 1954 due to medication side effects and poor eyesight. His health worsened during 1955. 3 days after completing his final manuscript The Buddha and his Dhamma, Ambedkar died in his sleep on the 6th of December 1956 at his home in Delhi. A Buddhist cremation was organized at Dadar Chowpatty Beach on the 7th of December, attended by 500,000 grieving people. A conversion program was organized on the 16th of December 1956, so that cremation attendees were also converted to Buddhism at the same place. Ambedkar was survived by his second wife Savita Ambedkar, known as Babasaheb Ambedkar, who died in 2003, and his son Yashwant Ambedkar, known as Babasaheb Ambedkar, who died in 1977. Savita and Yashwant carried on the socio-religious movement started by B.R. Ambedkar. Yashwant served as the second president of the Buddhist Society of India, from 1957 to 1977, and a member of the Maharashtra Legislative Council, from 1960 to 1966. Ambedkar's elder grandson, Prakash Yashwant Ambedkar, is the chief advisor of the Buddhist Society of India, leads the Vanchit Bahujan Aghadi and has served in both houses of the Indian Parliament. Ambedkar's younger grandson, Anand Raj Ambedkar, leads the Republican Sena. In 1990, the Bharat Ratna, India's highest civilian award, was posthumously conferred on Ambedkar. The salutation Jai Bhim, which means Hail Bhim, used by followers honors him. He is also referred to by the honorific Babasaheb.